Have you ever looked around your life and suddenly realized you're suffocating? You wake up one day trapped in a toxic relationship, or buried under the weight of a job that expects you to carry everyone else's burdens. How do highly capable people walk into these psychological prisons without ever noticing the door shutting? To find the answer, we have to look at a frozen wilderness, where a lone hunter is tracking a pack of 30 wild boars. On day one, he doesn't bring a rifle. Instead, he dumps 500 kilograms of yellow corn directly onto the snow. No nets, no hidden pits, and zero immediate threats. This is how the most dangerous traps are set. They don't begin with a direct attack. They begin with a reward you didn't have to earn. Your brain is hardwired for immediate survival. Your threat detection system is fine-tuned to recognize sudden violent changes in your environment and instantly trigger a response. This graph illustrates our primary biological weakness. While a sudden spike crosses your threat threshold instantly, this second line curves upwards so gradually that it stays below your internal alarms, reaching the exact same height without ever triggering a panic response. Manipulators exploit this flaw by calibrating their demands to stay just below the radar of your survival instincts. Relying on a gut feeling to warn you about a calculated, slow-moving manipulation is a losing strategy. By the time you feel the danger, the architecture of the trap is already finished. On day 2 in the snow, the hunter places a tiny half-meter high wall near the corn. The boars sniff the wall, see that it doesn't move, and go back to eating. It becomes a background detail. By day 10, the wall has crept around the perimeter, enclosing 3 sides of the feeding ground. By day 15, the walls are high enough to block their escape, leaving only a single narrow path leading inside. The boar's psychology has shifted to accommodate the new environment. They are so comfortable with the structure that they sleep inside the rising trap after eating. The physical environment has become a death trap, yet the boar's internal perception of safety remains untouched. This process is known as the Overton window. While it's a political concept, it describes exactly how personal boundaries are dismantled. Inside this glowing window is everything you consider acceptable. Manipulators don't try smashing through the frame. They make a request that pushes against the outer edge, stretching your window just enough to make the new demand feel normal. Through repetitive stretching, your baseline for normal moves further away from safety. Your original boundaries eventually end up completely outside the window. In a workplace, this looks like a colleague asking for one quick favor on Monday, and by Friday, you're doing their entire job because saying no now feels like a conflict. You aren't just forced into submission. Your definition of what is unacceptable is rewritten, one small favor at a time. On day 16, the trap is a complete cage. There is only one narrow opening left. The boars march inside because they no longer see the walls. They only see the habit of the reward. As the final boar enters, the iron door slams shut. These animals are strong enough to snap tree trunks in the forest, but inside this architecture, they are helpless. Once your personal boundaries are fully compromised, you lose the leverage and the willpower required to fight back. How do you defend yourself against a trap designed to bypass your awareness? Survival requires recognizing that entrapment is a slow construction project, never an isolated event. You have to watch for the initial boundary test. It will arrive as a harmless favor or a small piece of free bait. The most effective defense is a clear refusal the moment your boundary is tested, no matter how small the infraction seems. Real safety depends on recognizing the cage before the door is even built. The only way to win is to walk away from the corn on day 1.